Hi, y'all. So, your girl's sweating. Your girl just came from the gym. Today was my first day on the phones, but I had somebody there with me. It was really cool. When I took my first call, I felt like, I don't know, like it all came back to me. It all came back to me. I ain't gonna front. I set up my computer the same exact way I used to have it because I have a system. You know when you have a system, as I mentioned, out of the different eight different like uh applications that we use for our job, 7 of them we use daily, okay? And I set everything up the way I used to on my 2 monitors. So I think that was a plus for me because I wasn't fidgeting everywhere. Having, like, how can I say it? Just having a method to the madness that really helps out a lot. I wasn't even nervous, but my first phone call, I was like, oh man, let me make sure I'm verifying the customer right. The first couple of calls I have, like, make sure I'm verifying the customer right. I did very good. The lady, she was like, Candace, it seemed like you never left. And I'm like, oh, thank you. But, I did have to ask her some questions, about, like, some verification, like, can I take this? Can I not? Because I've been out for 2 months, right? And I'm just like, I don't know if things have changed. Some things have changed with the verification. So, yeah, I will say, you guys know how on Friday before I left, I sent my manager an email letting her know that November the 11th will be my last day. So I was like, I sent it out at the end of my shift because I just didn't want to deal with nothing. So I came in today, and sure enough, it's funny because she responded within at 1:11. When I left yesterday, it was like at 1 o'clock, like almost on the dot. And I had to type up that little message. So you figure within 10 minutes, she responded. She gave me what I needed to do and so forth. But she was like, oh, just let you know, your last day will actually be on the 10th of November because the 11th is a holiday. She said you will actually still get paid for the holiday, but your last actual day will be on the 10th, because she said, what's the point of giving you a floating holiday if you can't use it? Because we would be open, and if I was working, I would get a floating holiday to use whenever I wanted to. So yeah, so today, in that email, she was like, oh yeah, what is your email? She said, what is your personal email and your address? So this morning when I logged in, I sent her over my information, and she was like, oh, like a week or two afterwards, Tech will be, sending me shipping what is that called? Shipping labels to my personal email address. And she said, you probably won't get that till a week or two after. I'm like, okay. All right. And so yeah, I felt good. The only people that know I'm leaving is my supervisor. The only people I've told was my supervisor and the girl that I started off with. I let the girl know that I was leaving, and she's like, no, Candace, you can't leave me, because we started out together, and we've been, we always talk to each other. As I mentioned, this job, people are personable when you have time to talk, okay? Not the managers, but like the associates, because, I'm pretty sure people probably miss the interaction with people. But yeah, me and this other girl, like, I'm just, how I'm on here, y'all, that's how I am in person, I don't have to know you, but I can do a conversation. I can be nice. I can be, just a good human being, and but I let her know. On that Friday. No, I told her on that Thursday, prior to me putting in my 2-week notice. I told her I was going to be leaving. I let her know where I was going to be starting at, and my plan C, and I let her know what the pay was going to be. And she was like, Candace, thank you so much for sharing. She said the pay that we get here is not much. And I understand. like I said, $17.50 an hour is not what I'm used to, but you know, sometimes you gotta build your way back up. And I'll do another video about that. But like, I'm not the sort of person to keep good things from other people. Like I told her, I said, I don't know how things will be with Plan C, but best believe, you know, I don't know if the grass is greener on the other side, but at the same time, like, if I'm gonna have to work, I want more. You know what I mean? So yeah, I gave her all the details, y'all. And she's like, thank you, I'll look into it. You know what I find? What I find is people, and this is, okay, I'm a sharer, right? I'm a sharer. I feel like, you know, we can leave out so much detailed information. And I personally don't think things should be like that. But at the same time, because like you guys know, I get extra income from somewhere else. I don't disclose where that comes from. Now, if y'all kind of know my situation, y'all probably will know where that extra money comes from. Just putting it out there. But but like you don't have, I mean, anybody, I mean, if you think about it logically, anybody would know where the extra income comes from per month, you know? But yeah, y'all, what I was trying to say, like, sharing. I'm a sharer. I feel like I have never been one to hide how much I make. Why? Even, you know how some jobs is like, don't talk about what you make to other associates. Why? Now, I will say some people, I'm open to share. Some people are like, oh, Candace, that's not bad. Oh, man, I wish I was making more. And I understand. There's not like an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. You just don't want other people to know. Now, I understand, like, if I start off with somebody else, that person may be more qualified, right? They may be more qualified than me. I don't know what experience they've had for them to make more or less than me. I don't know, but this is what I make. You know what I mean? Now, if somebody wants to ask more questions, I'm more than happy to provide it. Now, there are some people I have, you know, because, you know, I'm open, right? I'm like, I don't tell you guys where I work, right? I don't tell you guys where I work, but there were some people in the past, especially when I was with my full-time job, you know, messaged me directly to wanting to know where I worked at. Now, I will say these are people that have been following me for years, so I didn't feel bad about telling them. You know what I mean? I don't feel bad, but I'm like, you know, I don't know what the starting pay is at. You know, I don't know. But I just feel like it's good to share, you guys, because an opportunity for me could be an opportunity for somebody else. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like, and the person I work with, that I started off with, she's a single mom, you know? And I'm just like, what's the point of holding something back? Now, I know her personally. I don't know her like personally. I've never met her face to face. But if I'm already working with you, I'm going to tell you, hey, I'm about to hop over to this place. This is how much I'm going to be making. This stuff. I don't know too much about Plan C, to be honest. I don't. I don't really know too much about Plan C. But best believe I'm going to share. That's just me. And I feel like in this day and age, is it because of the generations that we grew up in? What is it that nobody can talk about how much they make? And I understand nobody wants everybody in their business. Yeah, let alone I put things out here in YouTube land, right? That can go anywhere. That's why I don't disclose who I work for, okay? Because I don't want somebody to like tell my employer, hey, this girl posting about how much she make. I don't want to do any of that. You know what I mean? I give you guys the gist. It's work at home. It's financial. But this is how much I make per hour, or the roundabouts. Oh my goodness. I remember like growing up, like I already told you my situation with my parents. Never knew anything about how much they make, what they were going through. I'm like, I never want that. Even with my siblings, y'all. With my siblings. Now, sometimes, let me tell you something. Sometimes people hold back Because let me tell you something. This is real life. Sometimes people hold back information because they live in a life up here, and in reality they're down here. So they don't want to disclose that they're down here when they're acting like they up there. Facts. Tell me that's not. Tell me it's not. Tell me it's not. Personally, I've gone through that. I'm like, oh yeah, I make this much. They're like, what? You almost make the same amount as me. But I'm like, you living way up here. And it's okay. It's okay. But like, however you choose to live your life, let that be you. Don't let, I'm not judging anybody. But I think one of the fears that people have about disclosing things, and as I mentioned, sometimes you just want to keep things private. I totally understand that. As I mentioned, I keep some things private as well. But like, you know, when you have somebody that you're trying to help, or you're friends with somebody, like close friends, what's the bad part about sharing? And I don't say, oh yeah, my paycheck came in with $3,000. Nothing like that, you know. But like, you guys probably know what I'm saying. Because there's some information you can openly share, but I feel like a lot of people keep things in fear that how people will look at them. How people will look at them. As I mentioned, I'm not one to judge. I wish like I would have known, like, oh, if I can get into this profession, this is starting off like I'm customer service, right? I'm lower tier. Now my previous job, I was lower tier, but I moved up the ranks, you know what I mean? Into like another department, which I had more responsibilities and so forth. And one of my friends, she was like, Candace, she was like, do you mind what's the starting range? I'm like, let me tell you, I started there in 2013. I started off at this much, $13 an hour. Now I'm up here. I'm like, I don't know how much the newcomers make. They probably make the same amount as me. I said, I can't tell you for sure, but it's a good company. You know what I mean? I said, the pay's going to be decent, you know. I said, how much do you make now? Oh, it's all right. I'm like, well, if it's all right, I'm pretty sure this job is probably paying more. But like, how can you really help somebody if they give you bits and pieces? I don't know. And I'm not saying everybody should be an open book. Okay? I'm not saying that, but I'm willing to share to help others. That's just me. If it means me really showing my true numbers on paper, whether it or me showing you guys my grocery haul and my receipt, that's sharing to an extent that somebody else can look at that and be like, wow, so, you know, if this person makes this much, they're living like this is what I can possibly do. Now, you know, you live in different areas, rent's different, your expenses are different, I get that, but it kind of gives you a big picture, right, versus part of a picture. That's just me. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to let y'all know. Once again, mumbo jumbo. But I just feel like, man, why don't we share enough in this world? Like, when you have something good come up, why keep that to yourself? As I mentioned, I don't know if plan C is going to be any better than my current plan A, you know, my part-time job. I don't know. But I'm willing to share because it may be better. It may be better. You know, when you start off at a new job, why you got to tell your employers where you worked at? You know what I mean? Like, what difference does that make? I understand it for experience, but like, how long were you there for? Why did you leave? I understand they ask those questions for certain things, but if it wasn't that important, why would they even ask? You know? I don't know. That probably don't even make any sense, because they should want to know where you worked at, what kind of experience you had. So scratch that. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm actually excited for tomorrow. I ain't gonna front. I'm like, yo, now that I know it's gonna be like ending, y'all. As I mentioned, I didn't mind the job per se. The company itself is not ideal, but me helping out customers, that's me all day. That's me all day. I love helping people. Money is my jam. And that's what I like. That's what I like. So I like the job. I like the job in regards that I'm helping somebody answer questions and get answers for them, help them there. It's just a wonderful feeling. And that's why I don't have a dream job. I don't have a dream job. My whole thing personally is just being able to help somebody. What avenue that may encounter, it could be anything, but just me being a person to help somebody else. That's what I'm all about. And that's, I guess, when that person asks me, that would be considered my dream job. So all of these jobs I've had throughout the years, y'all, I've liked my jobs. Yeah, I can complain about, this and this and that, but at the end of the day, I like helping people. Okay? All right, y'all. I'm done talking. Talk to you soon.